Hello everyone, and welcome back to Zoodesia Zoo! And we are here inside of the Biology Research Center, aka the place where we research eggs and all of the fluffy little rumps of birds that burst out of them. Or sometimes, of course, we also have snakes. And currently no platypus, but hey, if any mod creators out there want to toss a platypus my way, just let me know, my friends. But welcome back everybody, and we are here inside of the Biology Research Center getting ready to put away a whole bunch of eggs that I have somehow managed to collect. I think literally all I did was just walk straight into my aviary, and the next thing you know I walked out literally with my pockets full of eggs, which is kind of amazing. Or egg-mazing, you might say. All right. But we also brought back an unidentified egg that we put on into the egg identifier. And when I realized we had an unidentified egg, I realized we have a whole bunch of them. And some of them look really new to me. They look totally new. I don't think I recognize some of these. So we definitely want to sort through all of the little eggs waiting to be put away over here. And I just feel, every time we come in, maybe it's the soft cooing of the pigeons. Maybe it's just the clucking of the fiery chickens. Maybe it's all of the eggs that are just absolutely everywhere on the ground. I don't know, but I just feel like a mother hen. Every time we come in here, I feel like a mother hen, and I just want to take care of all of the little eggs that we have. So let's see, I have all of these little ones in my pockets, and we have this little pile over here that I've been meaning to move, this incubation chest. It's made out of glowstone to keep those little eggs nice and warm. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and move these now. I've been meaning to do this for so long, and they're just kind of like ironically in the way, also really hard to move. Come on. Oh my gosh, for real? Will you not budge? Are you determined not to move? Oh wait, there we go. It just didn't want to show any of the evidence to me, but we'll go ahead and tuck this one right here, and then we can go ahead and put in all of these adorable little eggs. One day we might sort through them, but for now it's enough just to kind of scooch them over. There you go. Oh, look, see, there's a coral snake egg. I told you, it's not just bird eggs here. Oh, and a lyrebird egg. I actually do kind of want to start hatching lyrebirds and perhaps some pigeons, maybe magpies, even peafowl. I actually do want to start hatching these guys and letting them loose around the world. So not only inside of our exhibits where we can really highlight and focus on different species, but I do want to start having more birds and other animals kind of loose through all of the zoo. And you may go, Seri, how on earth is that a smart idea? Won't the tigers eat them? But hopefully they won't fall into the tiger exhibits. But if you think about it, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, when you go to a real zoo, you're not just accompanied by all of the animals in the exhibits. You're accompanied by the blue jays and the cardinals and the robins and whatever other birds may be more native to your home. And they're flying around. They're getting up inside of all of the different spots where they can like roost in the trees. I've actually seen so many. In fact, the Kansas City Zoo, which I may be visiting very soon, you guys, this coming month. May is going to be the month of travels for me, but I'll tell you guys more about that later. But I may be visiting the Kansas City Zoo soon, and there is an exhibit of giraffes and guinea fowl and giraffes being from Africa. And you know who shares their exhibit with them? Geese! So many Canadian geese. There's just so many Canadian geese and American box turtles just roaming around inside of their exhibit with them in the droves, no less. So I realized I don't want to really like mix the species in our exhibits per se, but our jungles are so quiet, and they shouldn't be quiet. We are a land of life. We are a land abundant with so many animals and natural resources for those animals to enjoy. So I do actually want to start hatching a whole bunch of eggs and letting the animals just fly free in the wilds, and good luck, my friends, but only the ones that you would expect to find, like in a jungle habitat, like peafowl, for instance. So actually, let's see, do I have any peafowl eggs? It's been a while since we've had a peafowl hatching party, and I think I've used up most of my peafowl eggs. But let's gather up what peafowl eggs we do have and actually come over to the egg incubator, which has apparently really used itself up on, well, you know what, we could hatch these pigeons too. And there's a pelican and a roadrunner. We don't need to hatch those guys, but let's put the peafowl into the egg incubator as well. And the egg incubator does use up. There's one 100% egg incubator. Look at all of these hummingbirds, ostrich, pigeon. I think we can hatch all the pigeons and just let them kind of fly loose, because you do have pigeons in the jungle. They may not be the species that you're thinking about, you know, strutting around the city, but you do have pigeons that will actually be in the jungle. I was actually, okay, this is how kind of geeky I am. I spend my downtime looking for tons and tons of bird cams around the world to follow. And when my albatross cam goes silent because it's nighttime and everybody is sleeping, I can switch over to my cam in Africa, where I can watch all of the wild birds approach the various watering holes. And when that becomes a little bit too quiet because maybe a monkey skittered by or something and scared away all of my birds, then I switch over to the one in Panama or Costa Rica. And oh my gosh, the Costa Rica ones, full of birds, so many birds. If you want to see cool birds, look at Costa Rica bird cams. Oh my gosh. But what startled me is how familiar so many of the species were, because they had pigeons, they had doves, they had woodpeckers. That other than like one little blop of color on their I almost said leaves for some reason, but one little blop of color on their wings would actually look the same as the North American pigeons or woodpeckers or pigeon, like doves, you know? And it was really surprising because I was like, wait, is that one of the woodpeckers that you can see in my area? And no, it's a different species, but it looks pretty much the same and just had a slight difference in color variety. So we could probably let loose a whole bunch of these pigeons into our jungle area. And even though your instinct may be, because you're not familiar with learning about the humble pigeons of Costa Rica, that they don't belong there, they actually probably do. Birds are an extremely diverse family, like of different species, and they really can kind of show up just all over the place in very similar varieties too. So I highly recommend just, oh my gosh, so much blaze powder. Thank you so much, everybody. Geez, you're really on top of it. Let me take this pigeon egg. In fact, because they have the lab pigeon with them, dutifully taking care of everything, I feel right hatching her eggs and kind of giving them a chance to flourish. So let's go ahead and start putting in some of the blaze powder. But yeah, so just that's kind of a good lesson, because it's a little embarrassing to admit, but with a lot of different species, you're like, a goose belongs in Canada and that's the only place you can find a goose. But that's not true. There's geese absolutely everywhere, and they really look remarkably the same, even though they have slight differences and a lot of behavioral differences. For instance, the nene! And you may go, Seri, weren't we just talking about birds? Why are you talking about horses now? No, my friends, the nene, my favorite endangered goose in the whole world. It is the only endemic goose of Hawaii. And it actually is adorable. Much cuter, Chip said, after I made him go on a 4.5 mile hike in the middle of a forest on a very fancy bird tour, searching for it. Much cuter in person than you would think. But the nene is also a goose, so you may think that geese do not belong on Hawaii. But not only did I set foot there, so the goose of myself belonged there. But there are nene geese that do belong in Hawaii too, and they are an endangered bird species. Okay, hang on. All right, how you doing, egg incubator? How much does it go up by 5% every time? Sure enough. So we're gonna need a good chunk more in order to get these eggs up and going. And before I get like talking, let's look through and see if I can find more pigeon eggs, cassowary, pelican, penguin, duck. See, duck and crane, those are definitely species that you're going to find all over the world as well. So basically, I'm just trying to say what often happens because of the way we depict animals in popular media is you can really end up thinking they only belong in a certain area. But not only is that not true, because animals can adapt to a lot of environments, and with the dramatically changing environment the world is currently going through with global warming, you're going to see them in unusual places anyway. It's also really funny because nobody really talks about pigeons. nobody really talks about pigeons and how they're basically everywhere and they look almost the same. The doves I saw in Hawaii were almost identical to the mourning doves that I see here in America, like the mainland America, the continental US basically. But they also were almost identical to the doves that I saw in Taiwan. They all just had different freckled spots on different spots, but other than like a slight variation of size, they were the same. But nobody talks about pigeons. So you think pigeons only belong in New York, but they do not only belong in New York. They're all over the world. So there's my little rant on pigeons. Heron! Oh my gosh, I want a heron. Okay, heron and crane are actually super rare. We have not had these guys yet. I'm gonna put them in the egg incubator. Here's another pigeon. See, nobody talks about pigeons. And hummingbirds. Hummingbirds also belong like in definitely the jungle. So we should hatch open a whole bunch of the hummingbird eggs as well. And it would be kind of fun. I don't know, like, and this is again, I'm willing to admit, I don't know. Seagull egg! Oh, that's gonna make Desiree so happy. Okay, we have to save the seagull egg though. But yeah, another thing is just admitting too that I actually don't know where, there we go. I actually don't know where the magpie is native to or how many magpies are all over the world, but it's definitely worth looking up. So yeah, that may seem kind of like a random conversation to burst into, but no, it's really important because I often see a lot of people in comments, especially younger people, going, no, Seri, that animal doesn't belong in that environment, but they're really adaptable, guys. And nobody talks about pigeons, so you don't realize how widespread certain species are until you really start sticking your nose in it because you're curious. So stay curious too. This is a Seri command. All right, so yeah, the blaze powder is going to take a little while to get through all of these guys. I don't know if they'll be ready for us to hatch today. The heron and the crane, we are definitely not going to be hatching. We are actually going to be saving those because I'm so excited that we happen to have them. That's so thrilling. Oh my goodness. Let's see. And do I have anybody else? We'll go ahead and hatch these hummingbirds. I have enough hummingbirds in the hummingbird exhibit as well. I don't know. Let's see, cassowary. I have to do the research. Oh, hello, lab pigeon. Also, I have actually been keeping an eye on this chest. It doesn't need to be here, my friends. It doesn't need to be here because it's empty. And you know who could use? Where is Glorious Grafter? I still left Glorious Grafter in the washer back home. Oh my gosh. I have to go get Glorious Grafter at some point, but maybe I can go ahead. There we go. I am going to have this multi-page chest in my sorting area that we have out by where Desiree is walking around. It takes diamonds to make these things, so it's important to collect them where I can. Also, tons of pelican eggs! So many pelican eggs! Oh gosh, I have a lot more peafowl eggs than I realized. Might want to warm those up, because if we hatch the peafowl eggs, there's always a chance that we might actually hatch it, and it might actually become an albino peafowl. And I also really want to make sure that we put in any of the parrot eggs. We do have a few parrots inside of our Australian exhibit that has since just morphed into an overall aviary. But I would love to see some parrots flying free around the tiger exhibit area too. So that's another project I'm going to work on. All right, and in with the egg identification. I actually am really curious, how quickly can it identify this one egg? This thing seems to work really fast too, which is kind of nice. Let's go ahead and gather up all this. Oh, it's a swan egg! Oh, that's so cool. See, and I have no idea if swans are like native to jungle areas either. I love researching these kinds of things. All right, so that has like 4 more blaze powder to go. Probably don't need that many because we can come back to warm up the crane and the heron egg later since we're not hatching them. All right, so I think I have a good number of eggs to get us started. And we have tidied up this room a little bit, which I appreciate. There we go. Look at all that blaze powder. That's wonderful. And there's the item frames. I don't really want to start working today on the egg museum, but I haven't forgotten about it. I just find if I work on multiple projects, it keeps it fun for me. All right. If I wait, here, peafowl eggs. We're going to fill this puppy up. Might as well, because we've got a whole bunch of things popping out. It's so close. No, this is that terrible moment where you're like, no, now I have to just spend another few seconds here because we're almost there. Also, is it seeds? I think it used to be. No, my magpie! Magpie escape! Magpie escape! I think it used to be seeds is what you would give the magpie, but it just doesn't listen to me anymore. What are you carrying? Hold still. Oh, oh, it loves me? Good? Or maybe now it's gonna breed? Not with the pigeon! These aren't the kind of experiments we were running here! Oh my gosh. No, not with the lab pigeon. Oh dear. What kind of babies could you have if you had a pigeon and a magpie like start laying eggs together? Who knows? Maybe you know what kind of eggs I think would show up? Probably a cuckoo's eggs. A cuckoo would show up and just put their eggs in the nest of a very confused magpie. Are you carrying your own egg? You're carrying your own egg, ma'am. Put it down. I don't remember how to make you put it down. Do I have to give it a stick? I think, do I give it a stick? Ah! Oh, that startled me. Okay, come here. Where's my bird book? Maybe my bird book will tell me. Bird encyclopedia, magpie, magpie. Okay, magpie. There's the magpie. They eat a variety of food. They can be identified by their loud chattering calls. Tempted by seeds, bred by seeds. Does that mean it will drop its egg? It's literally flying around with its egg in its mouth, and I don't know if that's gonna end well. And I was only gonna be here for a second, and then I started talking about pigeons. No, where's my magpie? Okay, this door is closed, thank goodness. Well, you know, I guess it doesn't hurt to let it fly free. I mean, if it and lab pigeon want to be like a weird bird couple. Oh, there you are. Come here, magpie. How do I? Oh, I got it. All right, and I picked up. Whoa, no, I let it go again. Oh dear. What's it carrying now? I picked up its egg, didn't I? Did it lay another egg like while it was in the safari net? This raises all sorts of questions about Pokemon and Pokeballs. Come here. Come here. Okay. No, it didn't. It didn't let go of its egg. All right. Well, I mean, come here. You seem more alarmed than Lab Pigeon. Lab Pigeon can handle this a little calmer. There we go. I just cannot for the life of me remember what I actually need in order to have my magpie lay its eggs. So, or like release whatever it's holding. It feels like, toucan! Toucan! Since when have I had a toucan egg? What the heck? That's another example of something that would be really fun to set free. Oh my gosh. All right, well, let's come back over here. We're going to remove the hummingbird eggs. Basically anything, pigeon egg with 100% chance of spawning, peafowl eggs with 100% chance of spawning. Wait, these peafowl eggs have 30. Okay, good. And then we'll put the toucan egg in here, and I guess the magpie egg, because why not? And I can put in a little bit of blaze powder before we go. There we go. No! I'm just being such a klutz. I come in here like, I just want to be a mama hen and play with all the eggs today. No, Seri, not if you're just gonna drop everything. Oh my gosh. All right, well, there we go on that. And yeah, so people don't talk about pigeons. Just keep that in mind, guys, because I do often see it in our comments, especially from younger viewers, that this animal only belongs in this environment. And that's not always true, especially with things with wings that can go pretty much wherever the heck they want to go. So yeah, just remember that when we're working on everything. And remember that when it comes to kind of doing your research, and nobody talks about pigeons or like small lizards or things like that. So it can be really easy. Okay, and that's a stray dog. We'll go ahead and collect it so that we can safely put it into our future adoption area. We will adopt out these animals that are definitely stray dogs in the jungle are actually stray dogs in the wild are actually one of the most destructive things next to stray cats that you can have, and they destroy a lot of native ecosystems. So let's go fetch this puppers, and we will give him the proper ecosystem, somebody's wonderful loving home. But yes, anyway, just keep that in mind, because I do see almost like an aggressive level from some of the younger kids who really feel that, no, this animal belongs only in this habitat. How could you dare suggest it belongs in a wider range? Or especially just from people who, like, they memorized a fact, and that is the fact, and it's the way the world is, and it's really upsetting for them. So just think about how big the world is. and just know that it's even bigger than you can imagine. And look for pigeons when you travel, because I promise you they're there. All right, let's go ahead and hatch open some of these guys. Let's start with the pigeons, because oh, there you go. Fly free, my jungle pigeon. Fly free. And see, listening to the pigeon make all that lovely noise while it flies around is going to make me very happy. And who knows, they might stick around the area. They might fly off. We might see them again. We might not. But I'm just really happy to kind of add a little bit more life into my zoo. All right, and we'll hatch the peafowl eggs kind of further down because they scream. They're screamy boys. And let's see, let's come down here. There you go. I forgot you're going to be... Oh, we got duo! Trio! What the heck-a-doodle? Okay, well, that's kind of nice. Hello, stars of the show. We'll come on a peafowl expedition in a few days, and we'll see how these guys have grown up. Is that one peafowl? Okay, so we're up to 4 out of 2 eggs. Not bad. Nice. Nice. There you go, guys. Oh, it's another trio. Holy canoodles. Wow. All right, we got a lot more peafowl for our bang there than we expected. I'm really quite pleased with that. All right, well, we'll let these guys roam wild, and when they grow up, we'll come back over to see if one of them happens to be the mythical albino peafowl. And now when we run over here, hopefully we'll have pigeons to listen to for quite a while. And then let's go ahead and put our hummingbirds. I don't really, well, I guess just kind of over here for now. Fly free, my loves. It's just nice to see you guys hanging out in the zoo. There you go. All right. And a whole bunch of eggshells that we can use as bone meal. Fantastic. Also, do I still... Okay, yeah, the German Shepherd. Oh my gosh. Wild dogs, as much as I was saying, look for the pigeons. You could look anywhere and you're going to find stray dogs and stray cats. And they are both devastating. Outdoor dogs and cats, unattended, are devastating on any environment. So we will give this guy a new environment. Not the tiger. I'm not going to give the tiger to somebody as a pet, but I'm going to give the German Shepherd to somebody as a pet. Well, that's another project. But all right, I have added in more life to my jungle, which is something I have wanted to do for quite a while. And I think that's what we're going to start doing with a lot of our extra eggs that we have, because we end up with tons of extra eggs. All I have to do is walk into this aviary where I have left poor Tate. Come along, boy. And we're suddenly going to be surrounded, just absolutely hounded by eggs. They're just going to pop up like daisies. Come on, Tate. Good job. That was a good teleport. Let me get down here before our kiwis start escaping. There we go. And there you go. Good boy. Good boy. And also, I just realized I kind of need to block this area off discreetly somehow, because this would lead straight into tigers. More leaves! Leaves are always the answer. But yes, so now we have a little bit more life flying around my zoo area, which is really good, Tate. And I think that's what we're going to start doing with the extra eggs, is just straight up hatching them. If we need, we can have an exhibit for them at some point, but I want to see more life roaming these hills, and the good kind, the kind that fit into the environment to some extent, even though we just had a long conversation about not making assumptions about what fits into different environments. All right, Tate, I'm being silly. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to make a whole bunch of glass panes. We are going to finish up the security section of this tiger exhibit, and maybe even work a little bit on making like a really fun bone feeder that we could feed the tigers from, and possibly use for all of our future carnivores as well. And we're going to block this off with leaves so that nobody just walks in and makes themselves a meal for the tigers. And we are going to hopefully crack open this little wall section and release the tigers so that they will have more room to roam soon. So, all right, I will see you guys next time. Oh, look at the hummingbird. Bye-bye, guys.